to abandon ship.
Oh no!
Here we go!
Can I persuade you to join us for a drink? It's a tradition.
Here.
Jar Jar, homie, my main man, quickly. Before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
Right! This is escape, then we're the pod.
Welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod and another great episode ahead. We've got our friends Matt, Kirk, and Blake joining us in the Escape Pod this week, and we are chatting all about the new Andor Season 2 trailer. We've had to make adjustments to prioritize this one and rearrange the release dates of our other episodes so that we get this out faster, but yeah, we're looking forward to bringing that down, as well as some headlines about Kathleen Kennedy speaking out on her Lucasfilm plans. And we're going through an interview that she had with Deadline.com about all of the great stuff happening over at Lucasfilm and her plans at the company. So let's get into it.
Another happy landing.
Star Wars Escape Pod is the Republic's choice of podcast anywhere in the galaxy. Leave a stellar review and tune in each week for more.
All right. Hello there. Welcome back, Kirk.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Awesome. Good to have you back. And welcome back, Matt. It's been a few weeks since Skeleton Crew.
Hello.
Hello. All right, and we will bring in Blake in a little bit once we get to the Andor stuff. But in the meantime, let's just kick things off right out of the gate. Big news about Kathleen Kennedy. I know we were just talking about this off air just before, but basically, like what you were saying, Matt, is there's just been a lot of stuff going around on the internet about this. So this is an interview that she did with Deadline.com, and the headline is Kathleen Kennedy speaks on her Lucasfilm plans. She is not soon retiring, and the films that will keep her in Star Wars orbit for years to come. So I guess the reason why we're talking about this is because there has been a lot of stuff going out there, and finally some news journalist site was able to get to the bottom of things and ask the woman exactly what the deal is, and I think like it's so annoying anytime this happens with these particular headlines and these particular bits of news, because like every single time it happens is not true, right? And it's just the most annoying thing, and I honestly feel for the woman a lot, because like, if somebody was talking about me like that, like every single year, like, oh man, Josh is gonna quit his job and this and that, or like whatever. That would friggin' suck, I wouldn't like that. So I'm kind of glad that
there's pockets of people that are excited about it, like tons of people are excited about it too at the same time, which you feel horrible.
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? Yeah. Like if people were excited that I was leaving my job, like that would really suck. So we get to the bottom of things here. So let's start off.
I think that in combination with the South Park episode may not have her in the best headspace after this tumultuous tenure.
I agree. I think that's that's very true. That's a good point.
It's a thing.
Exactly. Okay. Also, before we get started reading through this thing, we got to welcome Darian, who just popped in. Welcome back, Darian.
Thank you muchly. This is the way.
This is the way. All right. Cool. So let's get going here. Deadline says, we've read all these speculative reports that you are out, and there's a frenzy for the next person who's going to take over Lucasfilm. What is the truth? So I will read exactly what she says to Deadline here. The truth is, and I want to just say loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. That is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. We're in lockstep as to what's going to be, and I am continuing. I'm producing the Mandalorian movie right now, and I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in. So that is all underway, and we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it. And that's the cut to the chase little paragraph there. There's a lot more to this
Is
article.
Sean Levy doing a Star Wars film, or is that a separate Lucasfilm property that he's directing with her?
No, that is a Star Wars movie, actually. That was announced, I think, within the last year. I feel like it came up, I believe. But there's been a lot of Star Wars projects that have been announced, and not at Celebration, not at Comic-Con, but just on the side. I think one of those projects is the Simon Kinberg produced Star Wars movie as well. So, there's a lot going on. And, as we know from Rogue Squadron, from Rangers of the New Republic, from the Boba Fett movie, the Obi-Wan trilogy, there's been a number of things as the years have gone by that just haven't eventually made it out, and that's fine. Changes happen and whatnot. But I do wish that they kept a lot of this under wraps, before people started buzzing about it. But whatever. Anyways,
right? They leaked it. Yeah, they leaked it too early.
Yeah, exactly. So Deadline asks her another question. They say that you are looking within seems to give credence to what we've heard, that an executive chief like Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni is in a good position as he works on a Star Wars to write and direct. And Kathleen says, I can't say who it is because it was just an internal process that goes on inside a large corporation and a publicly held company as to how we go about making deals, finalizing decisions, and making announcements. There's nothing unusual about that, and we're in that process. So, if that clears everything up about how whether or not Dave Filoni will take over. I honestly don't think it's a great idea if Dave Filoni takes CEO of Lucasfilm. Personally, I think he should just focus on the creative stuff. They should split the job and make it like a business side and a creative side, which I don't know if it works already like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think this role is very much so a business pen pusher, managing budgets, timelines, finances, and I think it takes someone that's quite good at understanding what creative projects to push forward, but not necessarily being creatively involved. I think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were probably everyone's most top of mind two people to take over in the future, but I don't know. I don't feel like they're the best people in that specific role.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Matt?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn too as well. And also too, I think John and Dave, they should be creative. Yeah, creative. We just need that business person in there to help be their backbone. And we know, and Kathleen's not it either.
Right.
And back in her heyday during Jurassic Park and all the crazy stuff that she figured out as a producer and coming up as a PA back in the day.
Yeah.
Production manager and as a producer, she's been great. I think in her run of casting in her prime of the 90s, but I think it's time to pass the torch. But if it's not, then hopefully she can mentor someone else to be that business position. But there should always be how a Pixar and stuff, that you should always have the tech balancing out and pushing the creative and the creative pushing the tech. So kind of the same thing with the creatives, same thing. With say a production, even down to the day-to-day tasks in production where you have a production manager, the creative head of the department, you kind of need those two working together. So I think we need someone like that there. Let Dave be creative, please.
Yeah.
I have a feeling with this. Oh, sorry, Josh.
Oh, go for it.
No, I was just going to at least comment on what I think with what Kathleen Kennedy's situation here is. I think her first response talking about how she's going to die making movies and she's going to retire once, she's never going to retire type of thing. I feel like in her position, she might consider herself to be a little bit more limited with, the type of IP that she can play with as head of Lucasfilm. And I reckon that these reports are probably, she'll want to go out on her own accord, but I feel like they're going to be pretty accurate purely because I have a feeling she wants to go out and do her own projects that are outside of the Lucasfilm IP. So I wouldn't be surprised within the next year after at least Andor comes out and perhaps potentially once the Mandalorian movie gets released, she can sign off on those two projects and then and the Sean Levy one perhaps, and then move on a minor high note type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that she was talking, like maybe possible discussions, behind closed doors were starting to happen where maybe she was thinking about venturing off and then it kind of got leaked out?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that there has to be a plan. She's like 70, 72 now, 71. Like she's not spring chicken. So I think she wants to, finish up her career on something different, and she's not going to hold on to Lucasfilm forever, because that will, I think creatively for her, surely that's something that she doesn't want to just. She's been doing it for almost 13 years now. So I assume she wants to move on.
It's a great point, because when George passed things on, he was 69. So if that puts it into perspective, she's older than George was when he left Lucasfilm. So I mean, I think there is naturally this course of passing the torch, right? And sometimes that takes a while. Sometimes it takes a process to find that person and integrate them into the company. That could take a whole year. So if it's done right. I think they probably have had those conversations, as the years have gone by, and who knows who's listening and who's overhearing or who's standing outside a door or a window in an office building, and because there's big names and big wigs in there, you know what I mean? Like I'd be wanting to peep in on that conversation too. So things get out.
Also, but sometimes I think, right, with vital information like this is huge, right? Like I think this was leaked out on purpose.
Yeah, maybe.
Get a reaction to see what of the people are.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I would love to be privy to strategy plans like that. Like it's fascinating how big corporations like that might, to your point. I saw an article about the most recent Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars leaks with some concept art, crystal clear images, posted online, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, like people have been speculating, like, is this like kind of official? Like, has it semi secretly officially been leaked to determine whether or not people are stoked about this? Because especially in a time in which people have been really burned out with Marvel stuff, like, what's the reception with these things? So
it has to be another form of marketing as well, like just get more interest in the movie. Like, I feel like these studios know how much influence like online fandoms and talks have, and to get people excited for a movie and to get the trailer numbers bumped up, like surely this is a method just to even test things and then also get more people interested.
Right.
Well, there's an old saying that bad publicity is good publicity. Like, it's just publicity, no matter what, whether it's bad or good. Just like on a YouTube video, like thumbs up or thumbs down doesn't matter to the algorithm. Like it's showing an activity, people are interested.
Yeah. And when I think about the Marvel end of things, Marvel is a much bigger company than Lucasfilm, I believe, in scale of doing the amount of films that they have done over the years, the amount of comic books that they produce on an annual basis. Like, there's 2 or 3 different levels to that company with like different forms of entertainment. And Kevin Feige is just one of those head honchos of Marvel Studios. And I feel like he gets significantly less flack when a bad Marvel movie comes out compared to Kathleen Kennedy, who suffers the wrath of people, when something bad comes out or something people don't like. And it's like, man, like,
I get the only difference is that like Kevin Feige is working off like a universe that he and obviously Jon Favreau started from the beginning on the screen and then taken it through, whereas like Kathleen Kennedy inherited a set of movies and IP after that. But yeah, there's definitely an element of it.
No, I gotta disagree with that. There's a huge difference. Since Kathleen Kennedy's taken over Lucasfilm, she's had about 50-50 hits and misses, whereas Kevin Feige had like the first 90% were hits.
Yeah, I guess, but Kevin Feige is not. He's had more time in that world, right? Like Kathleen Kennedy has only been with Lucasfilm for X amount of time, and out of what she has produced, it's been 50-50. But if you count all the things that Kevin's been involved with, even back to his days on X-Men, there has been a lot of Marvel movies and a lot of shows that have not gone well. It's just my thing is just like, I feel like it doesn't really come back at him negatively in the press. Whereas like Kathleen Kennedy is always like first in line to get that fire, right?
The real And the real Marvel stinkers were under Victoria Alonso, right?
Right. Well, that's just it, right? Like I feel like it's a bigger company in a way that there's more people to blame, and for bad Marvel movies. Whereas like Lucasfilm is such a small company that there really is only like a handful of people that could be pointed at for like why this movie was not good or why that show didn't do well or whatever.
Now, also when Kathleen Kennedy though was teamed up with like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, like. Now that was different,
Yeah.
But now I don't know if she's just kind of like, does she have other people around her? Does she become the lone gunman?
See, that's just it. I think there's a lot of questions surrounding how that works because she's a very successful producer, right? Like she's successfully produced a lot of great things in her day, and some being she was involved with like you said, Matt, like Jurassic Park 2, War Horse, Jurassic Park 3. She's been on Lincoln, The Goonies, Tintin, Hook, E.T., Indiana Jones. Yeah. Indiana Jones, like all of them. Then you have other things like Acolyte and episode 9 and episode 8. And there's a handful in there that aren't great, but I mean, I think most people agree that Rogue One, she's, that's hers too. And that's one of the best Star Wars movies out there. And, there's definitely been some successes. I love the fact that I Google her name is South Park's the first thing that comes up. But
I wouldn't put it past Kevin Feige retiring from Marvel in the next 3-4 years and taking over Lucasfilm.
Yeah, well, see, that would be really interesting because, especially if he wants,
he's a big Star Wars fan.
He is, and there was kind of like the Simon Kinberg news or the Sean Levy news, which was sort of slipped out officially in the news. He was supposed to produce a Star Wars movie at some point as well.
Right. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And that's
I don't know about that.
Fairly recent news. Yeah. So
that'd be exciting.
Lots of stuff in the works. Yeah. Actually, they did ask her about that in the article, and they say I broke a piece last fall about Simon Kinberg making a deal to write and produce a Star Wars trilogy. How's that going? Kathleen Kennedy says we're absolutely rolling fast and furiously. That has gone exceptionally well, and he's literally going to script as we speak. We'll see something probably around June. Simon, if you remember, he did some work with us years ago with the animated show. It's not quoted here, but she's referring to Star Wars Rebels, which was a really wonderful collaborative experience. And he got very, very busy with X-Men and then recently became available again. And he swayed his space beautifully. We're really excited about where that's headed. So, there's, lots to look forward to with Simon Kinberg. He did Star Wars Rebels. That was good.
Yeah.
X-Men.
I would not have been picking Sean Levy to do a Star Wars film.
Sean
I'm not
Levy.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Sean Levy's a bit more.
I have to admit.
Yeah. They asked her about that too. So, so there are spin-offs, and then there was the core Star Wars story broken into trilogies. Is this a continuation of that? Kennedy replies about the Simon Kinberg thing that this is the next iteration, a new saga that moves us into the future. So Simon Kinberg's trilogy is supposed to set up a whole new saga going into the future. Probably with that will be the passing of the torch to the next Lucasfilm CEO. And then they also talked about the Deadpool and Wolverine director, Sean Levy. And she says that's also in the future. It's all post episode 9. And Sean's the standalone Star Wars story that'll take place post episode 9, maybe 5 or 6 years out. The Mandalorian really stands on its own because we're dealing with a whole other era in the New Republic. We have other developments going on in that space as well. So that's the space that we're pretty much focused on right at the moment, because obviously the Mandalorian, we have a pretty good sense of where that's going. And with this, it's all pretty much new characters. We may bring some of the characters back from the sequel saga, but pretty much new characters. So it looks like they're moving on, it's like I feel like as time goes by, fans will start referring to this whole Disney era less as the Disney era and more of like the Kathleen Kennedy era. And then as we go forward, maybe somebody else, whoever else is in charge, maybe it'll be that era. And then there's obviously the George Lucas era, but it seems like maybe she's kind of lining up these future films with the passing of the torch to somebody else. So which would make sense because that's what George did with the sequel movies and Kathleen Kennedy. So,
what do you think? What's missing then compared to the George Lucas era? What's missing then? Why are we so passionate about this? Why are we so worried about it? Like, what's so good? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's can you put your finger on like what is that magical thing that the George Lucas era has?
I think it's just a general dissatisfaction with, like, if you take all the average, viewer sentiment for the shows and the movies over the last 10 or so years, I think people are just excited for some change, just given what the sentiment has been, dealings of iconic characters, legacy characters, stories, choices, and how overall strategy has been. I think people are just keen for something new.
Yeah, I think so.
Something different.
Yeah, I think.
But then again, like but then again, like, to be fair, we haven't had not every single Filoni and Favreau project has been like a knockout of the park hit as well. So
right, yeah. True.
But I would say that they generally understand the magic of what makes Star Wars work.
I think if they had complete creative control, like for example, some of and there were no pen pushers kind of behind them, or money pushers, pen pushers. What do you call it? Whatever you want to call it. I reckon they'd be producing very different stuff even to what we've seen so far. I think Mandalorian season 1 was pretty representative of that. Even 2 perhaps.
Yeah, I love season 1.
But
yeah, and I think that's more of what fans are looking for, is that classic magic and mystery satiated.
And even design, because if you think about the Razor Crest is a great ship. Like such a well-designed ship, and production design, and going back, and then I know that they push pretty hard for having the models, having real practical models, even though yes, it's Compton and there's CG added into it, but still though, just having that practical big giant model, it's pretty awesome.
You know what I think that is in part is bringing back Doug Chiang, because Doug Chiang is the guy who really was.
Was he gone? Did he leave?
He was gone. Yeah, he was gone for quite some time, and then they eventually brought him back, but. He was the guy that worked with George on the prequels with episode 1 and 2, and
he designed the. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, he designed the Naboo fighter.
Oh yeah. He designed Naboo fighter. I think he was like one of the heads of design in the department,
right?
Back in the day, and then he left. He wasn't around for episode 3, believe it or not. But he has been a production designer ever since. He was on Rogue One and The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Book of Boba Fett. So those are his big ones. And then he was in the art department as a design supervisor on looks like episode 7 he was a concept artist, and episode 8 he was a design supervisor. Solo he was head of design, and episode 9 he was vice president head of design at Lucasfilm. So that's kind of his graduation through I guess the Disney umbrella. But yeah, he was absent for quite some time from the company. Yeah.
Because I remember getting that episode 1 art book when I was so excited for episode 1 to come out at the time. And his name was all over the place. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's like an art center dude who's into car manufacturing and car design, and then just started getting into spaceships, and he's amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome. I always love listening to him talk. He's a good presenter. He's got such a soothing voice.
Razor Crest is so sick.
Yeah.
I miss the Razor Crest. I hope they bring it back.
I miss the Razor Crest too.
What I love about Doug Chiang's work so much in those movies is you actually get to see the progression from the Naboo starfighter being this thing of decadence and sleek design where every curve morphs into the next curve, to the brutalist industrial design of the original trilogy. Is you actually get to see that in different increments as the movies go on. In Attack of Clones, you get the Laddie, which is the gunship, where everything's still rounded and smooth, but you're starting to get those industrial angles. And then in Revenge of the Sith, you get the V-Wing, where it's still a pointy dart ship, like the style of the old Republic and whatnot, but now you've got industrial angles on everything overbearing those design features.
Yeah, with TIE fighters
being
awesome. Hexagons, and yeah.
That reminded me of how much I loved that episode of The Mandalorian. Oh, sorry, the Book of Boba Fett, when he built that modded starfighter. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
That was the first thing I did when it came out in a Lego set. I went out and bought the Lego set as soon as it was released.
But
That's a really
look
cool
at
homage to, yeah.
look at how he modded out that Naboo starfighter in Book of Boba Fett. Nothing's clean and organized. There, even though the ship itself is supposed to be this sleek, clean thing, and it's ridiculously overpowered for what it is to begin with. He soups it up. He makes it more muscle, more grit, more crunch to the design. I love that, like that.
Also, and it's a callback, right, to the hot rod culture, to like the George Lucas era.
Yeah, there's nothing like those classic rat rods.
Cool.
Yeah,
very true. Yeah,
but even the Razor Crest is a good melding of those two design. You've got the practicality of the Mandalorians, the rigid lines, but everything's smoothed over, so you get this nice balance of elegance and brutalist.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna wrap things up real quick.
Anyway, Kathleen Kennedy.
Bring things back to Kathleen Kennedy. We'll wrap things up though, and then we'll move on to Andor season 2 here. First thing is, Deadline asks Kathleen Kennedy about Tony Gilroy. Very briefly, they said, will you arm twist Tony into doing one of these Star Wars movies after he was uncredited backstop on Rogue One? Kathleen Kennedy says, I don't know if I can. I don't think he ever believed he'd be a decade inside Star Wars. He's writing things on his own, and I think he'd like to get back to the director's chair, so we'll see what he does, but he's such a talent. He's fantastic. And they also asked, he also provided the creative spine for the Bourne Identity, and Kennedy said that's how we all met. Deadline says 2 final questions. Will you step out as Lucasfilm boss this year? And she says, we really don't know at this stage. There's so much going on. Mike, I don't know. And then Mike replies, when it happens, who will make the decision? And Kathy says, me. It's my decision. It's 100% my decision. So there you have it. That's the article in a nutshell. There is like bits and pieces that we questions that were asked that we didn't cover, but I will leave a link to this article in the description of this episode, and recommend people just check it out. And it's a good read. It was a good interview.
Good segue.
Yeah. All right. With that, we'll go pick up Blake at the cantina and dive into Andor season 2. All right. Welcome back, Blake.
Ahoy. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries.
We're in a war. You want to fight? Or you want to win?
Last night I had a dream that the world had turned around. All our hopes had come to be. The revolution starts now.
What a swell party this is.
Remember this moment. You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight.
All right. Well, there you go. Pretty cool. April 22nd. So let's start moving through this.
So many familiar faces from Rogue One.
I think the thing that sticks out to most people is the music.
It's not Star Wars at all.
No, it's called The Revolution Starts Now. It's from the 2004 album of the same name by working class hero Steve Earle. There you go. Not John Williams at all. And some people like it, some people hate it. Curious, what do you guys think?
The music?
Yeah.
About the music, or the trailer in total?
No, just like the music. Yeah, the music in the trailer.
I don't mind the music. It's just a trailer. It's not like they're gonna play this in the show. But I reckon this is.
What if they do?
If you know what, even if they do, I think I still will like it. But assuming that this is just a marketing thing, I reckon these guys are really trying to not these guys, marketing Lucasfilm, Star Wars people are trying to like push this to be like a show that is for like the adult part of the Disney Plus crowd that want to watch like a corporate conspiracy kind of show, and not just associate it with Star Wars, which has a lot of conceptions with people. Like if people just think it's a Star Wars show, like the more casual side of the audience might think just another Star Wars show is like another kids show. But I feel like they're trying to position this as such much more of like an adult kind of watching thing, and maybe this music has something to do with it, along with all like the quotes that come up in the movie. In the trailer.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so kicking things off with the first scene here, we got, what is that, Luthen walking down some hallway, some corridor.
I thought that was Andor.
Yeah, that was Andor.
Looks like Cassian.
Is that Andor? Oh, it could be. Okay, and then following that, we got some explosion on the stairs. Looks like the same place.
Actually, did you see the goat dog looking thing that the person's walking next? It looks like Vel, actually. Vel from like the first arc of the show. It's like it kind of looks like her.
Where is that?
Like in the first frame. Sorry, this is absolutely not relevant to the trailer. I mean, it kind of is, but like Vel looks like she's walking two like Star Wars goat dog looking things. I don't know what they are. They just look cool.
They look like ducks.
Space Shih Tzus.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Yeah.
But man, the production design already is insane. Like look at these tree like structures here. Like what's going on?
It's pretty cool. It looks like a university campus or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This must be the same place. Say again, Darian?
Kind of reminds me of the Gothic architecture of like the Victorian.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. All right, we got some explosion on the stairs. That's looks like the same place. Some attack being carried out maybe by the person with the briefcase. All right. Okay, that's Cassian. That's definitely Cassian right there in the brown, right?
Wait, what shot are we looking at?
Yeah, 3 seconds. 3 seconds in, we got a hallway shot.
That hallway looks like Camino. Or Cloud City.
It's like a flicker.
Oh yeah.
It's like just.
I don't think that's Cassian. That's not Cassian in the brown at 3.
Is that? Who do you think that is?
You gotta compare mullets from the first shot.
Yeah, I feel like the mullet. I think the mullet action is different.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think it's Loki. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know who that is. Maybe new character.
Like the hair, the back hair and the ear, it looks a little different.
Okay, all right, moving on. It's Cassian.
It's Cassian's stand-in.
Body double.
Oh, there
you idiot! You've caught their stunt doubles.
Oh man, all these shots with people from behind it. Okay, the next shot we got some not much to see. Some vehicle on EMP.
Yeah,
some blew up.
A lot of trash on the road there.
Yeah, is that Ferrex?
Outside of Galaxy.
Where is that? Is that Ferrex or no?
Yeah, it could be.
People have been saying it's Dantooine online.
Really? Oh, that would be cool to see Dantooine.
Yeah.
So like you're referring to the farming section?
Yeah. No.
Well, just they mentioned in A New Hope that the previous Rebel base was on Dantooine, but it's been cleared out for some time.
Oh, that's true.
So
we haven't seen it yet, have we? And Dantooine in the KOTOR games was an agricultural planet.
What planet did they start off on the scrapyards? That was Ferrex, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was Ferrex. All right. Following shot, somebody walking down another hallway. And who is this?
They sure like they're walking down hallways.
Yeah, they do.
Now that might be. Is that Cassian?
At 4, that's definitely Cassian.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
4 seconds?
4 seconds, that's Cassian. Yeah, can confirm. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, no guesses as to where that is, but the follow-up shot looks like it's him with the hood up. That's definitely the same jacket, and it looks like they're shooting an Imperial officer in a big room filled with some lights on the ceiling. It looks like it could be an Imperial base or laboratory or something like that. Definitely the same sequence of events here.
No, that's not Cassian. There's a hair. There's like a long blonde hair that's sticking out of the person's hood.
Does Cassian can't dye his hair?
He's got a wig for next.
That's the same. That's the same person as the previous shot, though. That's
not.
It's got
definitely not.
I think
I don't think so.
It's the Batcave. It's the Batcave from the Christopher Nolan movies.
Right, zoom in on the hair strand.
Because the jacket that he's wearing in the previous shot is got these white stripes on the back, and then the jacket where she's shooting the Imperial officer, it doesn't have those stripes.
Are they wearing the same boots in all the shots?
Oh, that's true. It does have the same. Well, I don't know. Is it though? It looks got the same seam work to it.
No, but it's Cassian in the first one in that confined hallway, and then it's someone with blonde hair, which I think is Vel. The
Swords Cassian, 5.
Oh, maybe they just all have.
Guys never dye their hair to like blend in. And
you're right.
different.
There's like a flicker of blonde, like long hair coming out of it. Okay, yeah. Okay, somebody else then. Somebody else then. Okay.
6 definitely.
Very tricksy with the editing here.
All right, we got Andor walking through a bunch of pilots, bunch of X-wings.
Yavin 4?
Yeah, it looks like
Yavin
Yavin
4,
4.
maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Sweet jacket.
Wait, are you sure that's Andor? That may not be him.
Oh, we're seeing him from the front now. That's got to be him, unless it's his twin brother.
Hey, check his hair. Yeah, look at his hair.
It's Andor Asian.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Then we got a
His
shot.
jacket's sick.
Shot of him in some. What's this? Okay, next shot. 8 seconds in, we got a red.
He's wearing the rebel suit.
Looks like it looks like a red pilot suit or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Something
That's Cassian.
The other person's in the same uniform.
It looks like an
Who is
Imperial
it?
cog on his shoulder.
Is it Porkins?
Yeah. Porkins.
Organs? Yeah.
Hit that pilot for the ties, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. All right. We got. Is that Cassian running through a field, or is that somebody else?
That's someone else.
If the edit's accurate, Cassian's in the TIE fighter.
Kirk knows Andor's hair from behind. It's
That's my specialty.
Yeah, that's a different type of hair.
So do we think this is Lothal, this planet?
Oh, it could be.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely could be.
No, that kind of looks like Bix. Oh, what's his name? Oh, he died in the first season, though. He got squashed by that crate.
Yeah.
I know his head kind of looks like that, but I also don't think it really matters who.
His head looks like it was crushed by a crate?
No. Like Bix, the character Bix in the first season, like that can't be him because he got crushed by a crate.
Oh, I see.
All right, follow up.
Oh
shot.
no, Bix is the I forgot the name.
That shot's dope.
All right, follow up.
That's
Say what?
Hey, that shot's sick. Yeah, the stormtroopers.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. We got 4 stormtroopers shooting at the guy that's running across the field.
Nice shot. Kind of reminiscent of the stormtroopers on the beach in Rogue One.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I don't know how they do it, but with this season 2 look as well as season 1, like they've maintained like a pretty consistent like color look as what Rogue One looked like. Unless that's just me. Like I feel like the troopers in these shots here look. Yeah, like
so
it looks just like Rogue One.
It's a nice
well, they use the same lens, same cameras and everything.
Yeah, different
Star Wars
DP, but
Star Wars has always played with color. Like they tend to show you less colors on screen so that they pop more. Like that's always been the design of the original trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, that's not Andor running because follow-up shots to this. Andor's in a stolen Imperial fighter of some kind. Looks like a TIE, and
I hope it's a TIE Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he shoots a missile and. And hits that turbo. Is that a turbo tank or what is that?
It's not an interceptor. The back wings are pointed like the back of the solar panels are pointed like a TIE Avenger, and it's fatter and longer like an Avenger.
Interesting. Okay, because there's a shot later you see it from the front, and it looked like a TIE silencer from the sequels to me. No, I doubt it's that, but it looked reminiscent of it.
Interesting.
So maybe that's that Avenger you're talking about.
I think we have the answer. You had. I'm skipping ahead a little bit here. I think we have the answer to who the capes were at the start.
All right,
the cake.
Later in the trailer.
Title card. First season of Andor was hailed by critics everywhere.
Yeah, what do you think of these? Like, I think it's just to try and sell this movie this show to a different audience.
Yeah, I think
convincing them. This show is good. It's for adults. It's
trying to show a different tone. Yeah,
it's a complete 180 from like the marketing for Acolyte or Skeleton Crew. Yeah,
but they have similar music, both non-Star Wars music.
To scale Skeleton Crew and Andor season 2. Yeah, it's setting a new
trend.
They broke
the seal, and now we're gonna just get rock music for the rest of Star Wars.
Oh man, going into this new era of Star Wars, like with Sean Levy's movie, we're gonna get like AC/DC and like. Who's John Williams?
Right, it's gonna feel like Marvel.
Gonna get Ryan Reynolds showing up.
Star-Lord.
That would be a Sean Levy movie for sure.
Yeah. All right, we got.
They had a rock in Soka when she's on the bike trying to outrun those sea wings, right?
That's true. That was music that was made for that show, though, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
I'm just saying that was our transition.
Totally. Yeah, that was the transition moment, and then now it's just
they're getting us ready for the eventual AC/DC, just straight in the thing. Andor turns down to the bottom of his cockpit, and he puts in a cassette tape, and AC/DC starts playing.
Oh man, 100%. Okay, we got just some badass shot of Saw Gerrera staring at the camera.
So good to see him back.
So good. Yeah.
Except they already have him in his full kit, so we don't get to see how he becomes cybernetic.
Yeah. Right. Actually, well, that story was actually kind of, because season 2 is a big time jump. And then I think in season 2, there is another time jump midway through the season. So I don't know where that shot takes place, but talking about Saw Gerrera through Rebels, you do see his transition a little bit, I think, with the gray hair. First he's like no hair or something, and then he's got gray hair, and then he's
he has some cybernetics and then a whole bunch.
I think there was something like and then there's also a bunch of books and stuff that take place in there, and so Andor is like one of those shows that kind of spans a lot of time. So interesting if maybe we'll get him in an older suit or something like that as well. Okay, title card. Emotional, thrilling, and exciting by the rap. Got Mon Mothma looking great.
She's at her Roman party.
Yeah, people dancing all over the place.
They're at a party, some kind of festival.
Confident and sophisticated by the Atlantic. All right, Luthen
I
Rail.
think it's her daughter's wedding.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good pick.
Yeah, good call. Luthen Rail looking depressed as always.
That's one of those deep storylines that you would absolutely have never have expected to come out of the Mon Mothma character, and I think with Tony Gilroy and his team like really shined with the last show.
True.
Just like who would have thought of that?
Yeah,
that's great.
Okay, truly phenomenal storytelling. The Verge. Okay, who is this? Somebody in a hood. Is that?
It's not blonde.
That's Bix.
Is that Bix?
Is it Bix?
She looks a little different.
Yeah, maybe it's not her. But that I think that's like that would have been Cassian walking through the hallway in that enclosed shot that you saw, and I think this is the other girl that shot the Imperial.
Yeah, good call. And then they set up a bomb.
Is her hair long enough for that though?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of obscured by the hood. Yeah.
This is a pretty cool shot though, with the explosion in the back. That's pretty sick.
It is, and he sets it off like how I locked my car.
Right. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Cool guys don't look back.
You know what? It's like one of those like major cliche shots where like you have the explosion in the background, but this is like just done tastefully where you can just see it poking out in the corner up there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like the Dark Knight?
Nah, like the Dark Knight. I take that back.
Well, that's the same facility.
Greatest fudge of all time.
All right, great to see. What's his name?
Oh, dude, I'm so excited.
Director Krennic.
Yeah, Director Krennic. Awesome.
Production manager
Imperial outfit.
The production manager I aspire to be.
Exactly. All right, so he's looking out the window, and then we see him again.
The Death Star.
Again, looking out the window of the Death Star. Oh, coming together.
It's funny how Rogue One, when we see it, they're just putting the dish in, and here's the only thing looks like it's missing is the dish.
Yeah.
It's the most important piece. It takes time.
Big open eye socket.
Yeah, it took 19 years, dude.
Actually, I feel like the very last scene in season 1, like you did see the dish, like, but just not assembled. It was like floating in midair or something.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
And now it's gone. So what? Maybe it was big. It was too small. It didn't fit.
It wasn't working. That was the storyline in Catalyst. The novel.
Yeah, true.
It was from IKEA. It was from IKEA, and the measurements were off.
They had to send it out for powder coating.
Came with some of the wrong parts.
They had to send it out for powder coating.
Yeah. Either that or Krennic found that he had too many screws left over, which is like really annoying because you feel like you've just assembled it incorrectly.
They realized they needed a thermal exhaust port, so they had to remove just 2 meters wide.
That's right.
2 meters wide.
No more, no less. All right. Follow-up shot. Some dude taking a nap on the ground in a rebel base.
Is that just some extra, or is that
I don't know who that is, but apparently his dead body gets the quote, a prestige drama with the searing action and Emmy-worthy performances. Because he's just face down in the pavement like that.
Emmy-worthy performance.
Yeah.
Hey, some extra that got paid $60 for the day. That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, this guy's jacked. Look, his stomach is like really flat, but he's got a massive chest.
Dude, that's Emmy
He's
worthy.
huge.
That's Emmy worthy. Absolutely.
He's been hitting the protein back to milk juice.
That's all the searing action. Searing action you get there.
I do like the paint design on the X-Wing. Looks pretty sweet.
That is a nice paint design. I think
looks like they're mirrored.
I have heard some theories about this scene, being that it takes place on Dakar. Dakar is it Dakar?
I don't know.
This reminds me of that scene from the opening of The Last Jedi, like that base down on whatever that planet was.
Oh yeah, I know
where
what
they
you're talking about.
like the resistance base.
Yeah,
The
that's
one that was filmed in the UK.
Yeah, Dakar. Yeah, Dakar.
That is it.
That's the name of the planet. Yeah, Resistance Base. It's the letters DQAR.
Oh right.
Yeah, and that's the one from episode 7. So. There was an old Rebel
Or it's
base.
that planet where what's the character's name? He went to go visit Saw Gerrera, and they had that brief. Luthen went to visit Saw Gerrera on that planet.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, that was a little bit more rocky and barren. You didn't get to see green fields on it, but wasn't Saul's fighters like black and gray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like their paint job.
Yeah, off in the distance too, we do see some like what looks like bunkers. So it definitely, I feel like this could be Qatar, for sure. All right, we got Andor with the blaster. Looks like he's back at that university place in the action.
It's weird to see a scoped blaster with no stock.
Yeah, it is. Okay, who's this again? Okay, we got that girl that helped blow up the building.
TL-44 doesn't count.
That's exactly what I was about to point out.
That's a pistol.
It still has a scope on it.
Doesn't count.
Wow, that's a bunch of dead people.
Looks like a Nerf gun that he's using. All right, we got that chick is back. She's grabbing him by the collar, going, "Love me." Is
that the same girl? That looks like a different person.
Yeah, this is the girl that helped blow up the building with. It looks like she's got blonde hair.
No, that's not.
It's not the same as
that's definitely not.
Are you sure?
It's not the same person.
With the hood?
No.
It's not the same as the one in the hood?
Not the one. Not the one.
Maybe the one on the hood, but not Vel that they used to blow up the dam like that.
No, not from season 1. No, I mean in the trailer earlier we saw them blow up that building. He does that like.
I don't think that's her.
I think that's her that shoots that guy. You don't think that's her?
Because this girl's blonde. The other girl was brunette.
Well, it was dark. It was dark. She's just kind of like dirty.
Yeah, no, they're different person. Looking at the nose different.
Different?
Different nose. Don't know why I'm analyzing some person's
he's
nose
quite
now.
the womanizer then. He's got all these lady friends.
Different nose, different forehead.
I mean, have you seen him in that thumbnail? Like, if he's got that on his Star Wars, like, dating profile thing, like, he'd be getting all the clicks.
Especially with his new jacket.
Yep.
His new jacket, look at that.
His 80s mullet, my goodness.
That's true.
Yeah.
Slick back. Oh man, he's got a Star Wars equivalent of Tinder, and he's just recruiting for rebels the whole time.
Swiping right on those rebels.
That's right.
Right on rebel.
Right on rebel, left on empire.
Left on losers. All right, we got a shot 50 seconds in. We got the guy, farmer. Looks like that same planet that we saw Andor blow up that turbo tank. He's being arrested by some stormtroopers.
I love these grain bins. It's super cool. We have not really seen a proper farming planet. Like we've seen
just Lothal,
grasslands with Lothal.
Yeah.
And then in the EU, we had Dantooine. But we haven't seen anything like proper like this.
You hoping this could be Lothal?
I think it could be
I think
part
it's
of
Ferrix.
Lothal.
I have a feel like it's Ferrix, like the opening planet, because the guy that was part of the mining guild that was Andor's friend, like I think that's him in this shot.
Right, that looks like more of a beard.
Brasso.
Oh yeah, Brassel. Yeah.
Yeah, because like when you have those shots where like Andor is escaping with Luthen and they go over those beige amber fields. Yeah,
that's him. That's him. Yeah, that's totally him.
Yeah, that's got to be. Yeah, that's totally him. Yeah. Okay. All right. So maybe it is Ferrix, or he moved planets because he is a miner. So maybe who says he can't be a farmer? So maybe he moved planets in it. Maybe it's Lothal.
Well, they show them leaving the ship together.
What's the planet from the Ahsoka novel? Because she was on a farming planet as well.
Yeah, that was Rada.
Okay,
that could be Rada as well. But like Ferrix, like hit the fan. So it could be that he moved, right?
True. And is there also in the final season of Rebels? Isn't there also a farming planet and they'll fight on that big harvesting machine?
Yep.
Wasn't that Lothal?
Talking about the finale or
It was in the last season.
Oh, the final season?
Yeah, because they're fighting.
That was Lothal. That was
It
Lothal.
was
I think.
Lothal,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure, yeah.
So it still could be that.
Yeah, they go through the planet, through that portal thing that the wolves show them.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right, this spring, we've got a follow-up shot of some unhelmeted, unbucketed stormtroopers. This is kind of
Not
weird.
stormtroopers.
Kinda
The chests
cool.
are different.
Yeah, kind of cool. What do you guys think about these guys? Who are they?
Which what time sample
Special
we at?
Forces.
This is at 52,
Yeah.
52 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Well, those are sand trooper torsos, right? Like chest pieces, just
Mud
differently
troopers.
painted.
Mud troopers.
Mud troopers.
Right.
Yeah,
Got the
the
goggles.
Titan-
The goggles too.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can
the
tell Josh
Titan-
likes these, and they're not CGI. No, he doesn't like them because they're not CGI.
That's right.
I think stormtroopers get away with it because they're supposed to be kind of crappy. You know, like
Notice their arms.
yeah, it's different. Like they're
The
big
arm
big
plates.
forearm plates. Yeah, I wonder if that's
They're
like
open
a.
and
Yeah, massive.
I wonder if that's like a shield or something, like a you know.
Oh yeah, it's like a armor and there's buttons on it.
Yeah.
And there's a production coordinator behind them, following them.
Yeah.
Isn't that what's her name's right hand man from the first season? The guy that's like, we'll stay late. I'll take half. You take half.
I think so. He has that black hat. I mean, he has like one of the. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, which guy you're referring to?
One of these two in the back.
Center left.
Yeah,
I can't see his face clearly enough.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, could be though.
But then the next one is that blonde girl. Like I think he's associated with her.
Okay, yeah. So we got a shot of what's her name again? Do we all forget her name?
Yeah.
Whose name?
I just watched it too.
The Imperial woman from the first season.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got that
Mel?
SB.
Angry.
Oh no, I know her name.
Dedra.
Dedra, that's
it,
right.
yeah, that's
Dedra. The one that Cyril, the cereal eater,
That's right.
Yeah.
is obsessed with.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so she's standing in a hallway. It looks like one of those armored stormtrooper guys is coming around the corner, like towards the end of that shot.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it could be the same place. She's not looking too happy.
That's why I thought they were ISB.
Yeah, maybe they're conducting an internal investigation, which is kind of what they do.
It would make sense that they would have. It would make sense that they had their own police force, right? Like the special forces that deal with the elite stormtroopers and whatnot.
For sure, yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, looks like a shot of director Krennic. Is that him talking to Mon Mothma? It almost looks like it could be.
Oh, maybe.
And is that her
cheekbone?
husband? Is that her husband back there with the
I forget what he looks like.
robes? I thought he had longer hair and a beard, but maybe not.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He has chin length hair that's slicked back and a goatee.
Then what's up with that guy with the Beauty and the Beast jacket? Like he looks like he's wearing the Beast's jacket,
That does look like that.
Yeah.
blue and gold.
The critically acclaimed series. All right, we got a. What is that? That's the TIE fighter, right? That's the TIE
What we were
fighter.
talking about earlier.
The one that
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier, the Andor steals.
Oh, that's
Oh, this is
sweet.
my favorite part of the trailer. Like, I just loved how the
He just guns them down.
Just ripping them.
no, yeah, well, not that specifically.
Oh, what's
That's
with the
pretty
like?
cool,
The, oh, I see. It's green lasers and then it turns red.
Yeah, I think that's the alarm system.
Alarms.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Hey, Josh, what's the name of that alarm system?
The Imperial alarm. I don't know.
Klaxon.
I actually don't know if it has a name. I just thought you may know, like, it's a code. Like, it's
It's called the Klaxon.
Klaxon alarm system.
Klaxon. Klaxon?
I think that's an alien
Klaxon.
species.
Klaxon?
Klaxon is an actual company.
Oh, okay. Well, I've always heard it. I think somewhere in one of the commentaries, they even referred to it as a Klaxon alarm.
I've heard that term before.
Yeah, I have. That sounds familiar.
It sounds Star Warsy.
Yeah.
So-
We'll go with it.
So I am just looking up the comparison that we mentioned here earlier between the TIE Interceptor and the Avenger, and you're definitely right. They're Darien.
So what is it?
There are differences between them. Like the Avenger looks kind of the in between of the TIE Advanced and the TIE Interceptor.
It's got the
okay.
pointy back instead of the flat back, like the Interceptor.
What is the TIE Avenger originally from?
I don't think it's ever actually been on film before. It's in a bunch of books, and I know of it because of the Star Wars CCG from the 90s. But I think it was in TIE Fighter versus X-Wing as well.
Okay, interesting.
Basically, it's like the second best version of the TIE ever made.
TIE Advanced is the best, I assume.
TIE Interceptor, or the one that they had in Rebels with the three sets of
Defender,
solar
I think.
panels.
I think it's Defender. I find it strange that Darth Vader's isn't the best one.
It's not even like on the good side.
What the heck? Anakin calls himself a mechanic.
All right, next shot. We got the dance again. Mon Mothma's. Is that Mon Mothma participating?
I just found it. So it is in the X-Wing games, the TIE Fighter X-Wing games. Yeah, it's just in all of them. I don't think it's in anything else.
Oh, she's really rocking out here.
She's going for it.
Like, imagine if you showed a photo of that close-up of Mon Mothma to someone like 20 years ago, being like, "Hey, this is Mon Mothma." You'd be a bit concerned for the fate of Star Wars without any context.
Yeah. I got it frozen. I got it frozen on the final frame where her like dresses looks like wings, and she's like screaming to the. Yeah, it's just like, and then picture the words, "Many Bothans died to bring us this information."
Yeah, I just
That's what we call good writing.
I love that you said that in the Darth Maul voice.
Many Bothans died to bring us this information.
I also just picture all the rebels together in the briefing room right after Mon Mothma does the speech before they do Death Star 2. One of them like elbows the guy next to him and like shows like a video of her like dancing here. Like, that's her.
All right, another shot of the big party returns. All right, and then got some hyperspace action. Some got an X-wing in space following a
sort of
transport of some kind.
Is that the transport from Clone Wars with the weird cockpit?
I don't know.
You would know, Josh. You're the Clone Wars.
I haven't. The thrusters don't look similar at all to me, but
well, I think it looks like the same ship that we see on the theoretical Dakar in the earlier shot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, this could be above Dakar.
Quotations Dakar.
Yeah. Hyperspace tunnel.
The planet formerly known as Dakar, no matter what they name it now.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that scene where Luthen like chopped up the Imperial ship. I'm just reminiscing of how good season 1 was.
That was a really cool ship design. Like
All right.
Luthen's ship in the first one.
It was, yeah. That was a
that.
sick ship.
I never made a Lego version of that. It made me so mad.
Yeah.
Was that a Doug Chang thing? Was he on this show?
I don't know actually.
See if he's on season 1.
Didn't look. Yeah, is he? Is he on? Was he
I'm
on?
saying look it up.
Oh no, I didn't see Andor on his list. That's why I mean, like maybe I don't know. Don't think so.
I don't think so.
But was there any Andor Lego?
I don't think so because it was marketed to adults.
Oh, it looks like there was there one? There was one set maybe? Yes. There was one set.
It's a minifigure and that's it.
It's age 9+ set with Andor, Luthen Rail, and Cyril, all with one of those Ferrex drop ships from the
ambush on Ferrex.
Yeah, it's called Ambush on Ferrex. Set 75338. And that
they made that, and they didn't make like that sweet ship that Luthen drives.
It's not even a big set. It's $150 or something.
It's
Australian dollars at least.
Yeah, it's $100 over here.
Well, that's probably current price because it's no longer in production.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, probably.
That wouldn't be the release price.
Probably. And that's it. Yeah, that's the only Lego set they made.
I mean, they only made one set for Skeleton Crew.
That's true. Yeah.
They made none for Acolyte.
What does that tell you? It's like,
I don't know. So it's like right now they're just continuing to re-release original trilogy stuff mostly. A few prequel things.
That's the stuff that makes money. All right, we got a shot of the so what is this? It's like Star Wars droid photographer. It almost looks like. It's
that's what it looks like, which is pretty cool.
The flashes, got the lenses.
Oh man, isn't that like an EU thing? Because like I know, especially in the Commando book series, they talk about droids that are basically just like cameras for the HoloNet, and they do like for like news reporters and stuff.
Yes.
You know those stars, or like what do you call the prongs? They kind of look like Iron Man's like arc reactor from like the second Iron Man film.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on a second. I see that guy in the purple and the Beauty and the Beast robe, like what you were saying.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so what's that dude's name from the season 1 that Mon Mothma has to make the deal with? He was a gangster.
Oh, he's gonna be his
name was Davos Skalden. Is that him?
He'll be here.
Yeah.
Davos Skalden. That totally looks like him. He's got the same hair.
Oh, I think you're right. Because they have that arranged marriage for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, maybe this is an extension of the marriage stuff. Maybe this is.
Maybe this literally is a play on Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
He says, "Be our guests. Be our guests. Be our guests."
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, wasn't Obi-Wan? Wasn't an Obi-Wan in the live action of Beauty and the Beast? That would work.
Yeah, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was Lumiere.
Oh my god.
Wait, was he actually? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Ewan McGregor.
Wait, did he voice act, or was he actually like in the?
I don't know, but he plays the voice at the very least of Lumiere. Yeah,
I think they would have hired someone French.
You'd think, but
okay.
Yeah.
I just looked up. So the guy that plays Davos Skulden his name is Richard Dillane, and he's only listed in the first season. He's not listed in the new one.
Oh well, probably He has to be in the new one though. Like not everyone updates their.
They could always recast. Maybe they've recasted him.
It's possible.
They could.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe all the power got to his head in the first season.
That has to be him though. That has to be the character because that's also Mon Mothma and her husband in the foreground of this shot.
Right. Yeah, that's them. Yeah. That's totally them.
Yeah. Okay, we got a shot of K2SO.
Thank goodness. I'm so glad he's in this.
He's in this show.
I'm so annoyed.
Yeah. So just
sorely needed last season.
Just so you all know, we will probably most likely not get the first interaction between K2SO and Andor, as Marvel Comics did a one-shot many years ago called Cassian and K2SO, and that was the technically the in-canon event of how K2SO gets reprogrammed to a droid. So
That's
I think
not to say they couldn't redo it though.
No, but I do think
did that with Ahsoka, Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, they did it to a certain extent, but I think maybe either we'll see it adapted or we will have him show up after the time jump, because there's supposed to be a mid-season time jump at some point.
That'd be such a good story arc, that like a sub arc to have him.
It probably
get turned, and then you kind of see how.
I heard they were doing like 3 arcs and 4 episode arcs and 3 time jumps in between the season.
Yeah,
and each arc is being released all at once per week, and it's only being released for like a 4-week period.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. They're doing like a 3-hour movie event per week, pretty much for 3 weeks.
Oh, curious.
Oh, dear.
Or 4 weeks, sorry. And there's three arcs. Sorry, I'm going all over the place here. There's four arcs over 4 weeks and 3 episodes per arc, and hence 4 time jumps is what I'm meant to say.
It's like little 3 mini movies. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, follow-up shot. This looks like the same sequence of the TIE Avenger ripping down those guys.
Hell yeah.
The TIE Avenger.
Okay, and we got Andor hugging Bix. That's got to be Bix with the brunette hair. And that's the TIE Avenger right there. Okay, Riot armor. Who's this in the armor? Can't see his face.
Got the Mud Trooper armor on the left.
Yep, someone flips down their visor and can't.
Is that maybe Cyril?
Maybe.
His face? Yeah, his face is covered.
Cyril.
Yeah.
All right, we got a sweet-looking tank thing. I don't know what that is.
Batman would be jealous.
Is that all happening on Coruscant? Like that massive, like where Cyril's running up?
Looks like
not the dark scenes. The
Oh, you mean after
like the metal detector?
After that thing mows the ground over?
Yeah, like where the ISB office is.
Yeah, I don't know. Or it's got like white structure with a glowing frame. Maybe that's that university place that we saw all that action happening on. Maybe he's there.
Looks like some sort of scanner.
He's also wearing a badge, so he could definitely be in the in that place.
He has like a Fox Mulder kind of vibe.
Yeah, it totally does. I was just thinking FBI.
yeah.
It's got that Star Wars looking tie again.
Just flat square,
There you go.
little rectangle.
Like inside his shirt.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I want one.
It looks like a belt for a tie. Genius.
It's a belt hung on his turtleneck. Yeah.
Yep, I gotta start doing that.
Nice.
New fashion.
I'm gonna start doing that tomorrow.
All right.
And what's his name? Is he Cyril?
Cyril.
No.
Yeah, Cyril. Yeah.
And he's actually like eating cereal in the.
Yep.
That's right.
All right,
That's actually the only reason I remember his name.
That's hilarious.
got some flames happening on that university campus.
Nice.
Oh, hey. Okay. This dude here. This is Andor's buddy from the prison who later shows up in Rogue One. What's his name again?
Is it the one you talk about? The guy he shoots at the start?
Nope.
Okay.
He's oh my goodness, what's his name? It's the guy who is in the prison with him and Andy Serkis.
Okay.
And at the end of the episode, he's also the dude that once they get to land, they go 2 separate directions. And Melchi, is it Melchi? Is that his name?
Menchie's?
Yeah, I thought it was Melchi.
Yeah, it's Melchi.
Okay.
Oh,
Is that
I have a
Melchi?
feeling that's not him. I feel like that's not him.
Is that not him?
He looks he kind of looks a bit smaller.
Like if you look him up from Rogue One, he's got the same kind of facial hair.
Yeah, his receding hairline is similar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm now judging characters for their hair problems.
That's okay. I got a picture of him in Rogue One. That's got to be him.
It looks a bit different to him though.
This is what happens when you have a receding hairline and film out of order.
If you look him up on Wikipedia, Rue Scott Melchi, his profile picture on that page looks very close to him here.
Does that mean there's hair transplants in the Star Wars galaxy?
Maybe. It's Ruescott, and then his last name is Melshi, Melshi. So it looks like season 1, he didn't have any facial hair and more like hair on his head. And then like as he's kind of aged, he gets the buzz cut with the facial beard, if that is him.
What does he look like in Rogue One? He says in Rogue One, right?
In Rogue One, he has like basically the same look, except he's wearing like a helmet or a hat. So like there's less to see. But yeah, I think that might be him. Okay,
Melchi.
we got a follow-up shot of someone pointing guns all over the place. What is this?
What is this happening?
Everybody pointing guns at everybody?
He's a neat blaster, though.
Some terrorist attack by the rebels. Okay, I do wonder, though, if we will get an arc which features just the extreme measures that Saw Gerrera is willing to take.
That'd be cool.
And they
Definitely.
approach that in Star Wars.
So much.
Yeah, they approach that in Star Wars Rebels too, but like I do hope that it has some time in Andor season 2. That would make a lot of sense, because feeding directly into Rogue One with that relationship between him and the rebels being kind of iffy, it would make sense that Tony would want to tell a story that kind of has that I guess stamp of his,
the lead up.
Yeah, the lead up. Even though it was in Rebels, I think Tony was like, no, it'd be nice to tell a story of my own that
I think it'd be
also
more than
has
one
that
reason too. Because even in Rebels,
I'm tempted
they already were on board with Saw.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say that the attack on the ISP base on Coruscant may have been orchestrated by Saw Gerrera, and Rebellion may have pictured that as being a bit too far, blowing the cover type of thing.
All right, we got a shot of the Avenger again. Another shot of Cassian running, jumping over a table, guns ablazing.
I find it really interesting that they've got spiders pictured up above the arches of all the doors there.
Oh yeah, look at that spider.
That is interesting.
And they're each different too.
What frame are you looking at with the spiders? What seconds?
Like 117 and then a few frames forward.
Oh yeah.
Even when it changes perspective, if you look in the background, they're still, I'm pretty sure those are spiders are a little blurred out.
Yeah. Interesting.
Spider Cafe.
The spider.
Spiders look different in the Star Wars universe.
Man, the production design on this show is insane. No wonder it costs so much.
Yeah.
Put so much into practical effects.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. Some hallway with people blowing up. Cool.
Nice. We like that.
All right.
Some sort of pulse
Looks like
thing? What was it?
Pulse blast. Force push.
Oh, man. Some
Force unleashed.
Some officers getting hands-on with Bix.
Is that Dwight Schrute?
Damn. Dwight Schrute.
Hey, he's already been in Star Wars. Why not?
Yeah.
Has he? What was he? What was he in Star Wars?
He was the bounty hunter that shoots at Mando in season 1 when he's getting to the planet with Cara Dune on it.
Oh, dang.
Really?
Maybe
Yeah, he's like, I can bring you in cold, a warmer cold, and then Mando slams on his brakes, goes behind him, shoots him, and he's like, that's my line.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got to rewatch that. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, I think I missed it too.
Yeah, me too.
Was he dressed? I mean, can you very well see that it's him, or does he have like makeup on, or?
You can pretty, like, now that you know it's him, when you go and watch it, you're like, oh, it's clearly him.
All right, follow up.
Wait, I'm not finding any.
We got somebody screaming.
I think he's turning into a werewolf.
Oh,
Looks like something from Willow. I don't know why.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Cyril's mom.
Making more cereal for him.
Yep. And
Does that give anybody else chills seeing her just so, like, giddy and, like, you know something evil's going to happen if that woman is that happy?
yeah.
Yeah, something's wrong there.
All right, we got someone screaming who's different screamer. Where is this?
Hey, who is the
I
mask?
think it's the same scene at that university-looking place with the explosion near the beginning.
Yeah, maybe.
He's based by the color of the concrete and everything.
Oh yeah.
With the way this is shot, I hope this guy gets shot immediately after the speech, because it seems like such a comedic setup of like, go, you're the future, you're our hope, takes 2 steps, shot, falls down, and he's just like, who's next?
Yeah. All right, Saw Gerrera gets his moment. shaking someone down. What's he saying again?
The gas mask one or whatever.
You're here.
Oh yes.
You're right here.
And then we get the money shot.
Andor.
All right, then, yeah, the money shot. Andor, the title card. A Star Wars story. And then we got Andor all combed, ready for a party.
Andor, a TV show to a prequel to a Star Wars story.
Season 2, April 22nd. Only on Disney Plus. All right, cool.
Oh wow, we're only 6 weeks away.
Oh, nice. All right, there we go.
Crazy.
Amazing. Awesome.
We'll have to get on our rewatch soon.
That's right.
Yeah, gotta pop in those Blu-rays and
So if they're being released with multiple episodes at a time, are we going to review all 3 at a time or 4 at a time or whatever it is?
I think we'll
Or
have to do
individual?
I think we'll do some arcs, kind of like Rebels, I guess, on a per week basis, if that is the case. So lots to chat about. If we end up going long though, maybe we can split them up into halves and release each half the same week or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out.
Is there not more trailer?
No, that's it. That's the whole trailer.
That's it.
You think
That's
we're
it,
gonna get
folks.
another trailer? Because we're 6 weeks
watching
away.
one where there's Vader walks up to a tube and kneels down to it.
It may have been a fake trailer.
Is it an AI trailer?
It's probably a fake trailer. Yeah, there's lots of stupid fan fake trailers out there. I hate them all.
They go crazy. They get like millions of views.
Yeah, I hate them too.
I just hate like anytime on my Google
trailers.
Yeah, anytime on my Google News feed, if I ever have any channel pop up with like a trailer for something and it's fake, I remove it from, like, I block it completely from ever showing again on my YouTube feed and my Google News feed. I just completely, like, I don't want to see that, you know?
It's like an epidemic.
It's like, if I wanted to watch fan fiction stuff,
Well,
you know, like,
look for it.
like I don't want to watch a trailer for a, like, you know, movie that doesn't exist. I want to, like, at least if I want to watch a fan film, I'll watch a proper fan film, you know?
Right.
I love like kind of in between like AI and really like weird like Google image like still stuff, and they use like dialogue from previous movies and and they even put shots in from like, I think I saw one of Dune the other day, like someone put a trailer for Dune Part 3 and then like they just use like these lines that Zendaya said from like the Spider-Man movies and Euphoria.
Yeah, it's all like cobbled together.
Yeah, that's like classic.
People click them.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends the other day be like, "Oh, have you checked out this new trailer?" And I can't remember what movie it was, and I'm like, "This is not right. This is fake.
Not real." I had this exact conversation with my wife.
And that's going to get worse because the fan films are getting so damn good. I've seen Bucketheads and Return to Endor stuff spliced into other people's like music videos and stuff where they're like, "Hey, what's this from?" in the comments because nobody knows it's from Bucketheads. They're like,
"To just straight up stole it." Oh man,
dang, that's awful.
Yeah, Instagram has it worse. Like people just make so much money off like repurposing other people's content without any credit, and then like pass it off as their own as well. That's a whole other thing.
Isn't that a thing? Wow. Like isn't that part of Instagram though? You can like remix something.
Yeah, but like people just post stuff and then like they just pretend like they've made it. Like they don't credit the original artist or anything like that. And particularly with these fan films, and people just expect it's coming from like the main line of Star Wars stuff. Like I think maybe it wasn't Bucketheads, but it was something else. And all the comments was like, "Oh, where was this? I missed this Rebels episode or something." It's like it's not Rebels. Oh, that's right. It was that person that recreated the Revenge of the Sith fight between Anakin and I saw that recently.
The Clone Wars recreation of
people in the comments like, "Oh, I didn't see this Clone Wars flashback. Which episode was it?" And then the person didn't credit the artist at all. It's pretty annoying.
That's so stupid, man. Like I've had texts from my mom like with like trailers for movies that don't exist, and I'm like, "Mom, look at the YouTube channel before you watch a video."
Josh, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's in the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio is playing Luke Skywalker? No way.
Right, but recast is young Luke Skywalker.
It's always the case. It's like it's something absurd. All right. Cool. Well, let's wrap things up for the night. Big thank you to Kirk, Darian, Matt. Thank you so much, the three of you, for coming back on as always. And before we wrap things up, what's the number one thing you're hoping to come out of Andor season 2? I'll start with you, Kirk.
I'm hoping. I actually have no idea. I'm just looking forward to the whole show, to be honest. I'm keen to see. I think Krennic. I want to see some really interesting plays from Krennic. I think he's one of my favorite Star Wars Imperial officers, second to Peter Cushing's performances. So yeah, I'm pretty keen to see him.
Awesome. Yeah. What about you, Darian?
Brasso going beast mode with a heavy repeater.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm totally open. Just want to see a good story, and I'm stoked to see Krennic back in action.
All right, sweet. And Blake.
Well, I'm pretty excited to see K2SO again. He's always been a favorite of mine. But I just thinking kind of like as we're going over talking about Andor season 1, because I need to do a rewatch so I can have all the details fresh. But I'm looking forward to getting more information on the backstory of Luther.
Oh, Luthen.
Luthen.
Yeah. That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Because there's so much speculation season 1, and we never got to figure that out.
That's a good point. I'm looking forward to that too. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. And big thank you to Blake.
Better late than never. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much as always. And we will catch you in the next one.
Sounds good. We'll see you out there. Keep flying.
All right, a big thank you to our audience for tuning in, and we have a number of things coming up down the pipe as the weeks go on. One of them being a episode about the Star Wars banking system and financial stuff. How fun is that? As well as an episode about the Dawn of the Jedi, and that's all going to be pushed a week ahead because of this episode, which we fast-tracked to get the conversation out regarding Andor Season 2 and so on. So looking forward to all that stuff coming up. We'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you.